All right, good afternoon, everyone. Happy World Smile Day. We hope that you have your smiley sticker on, as well as we're passing out these smile pens. So if you need a pen, did you get your pen? Oh, very good. All right, if you need a pen, raise your hand, because Gail can, there's a few left. All right, couple of announcements. No lunch next week, Tuesday or Friday. Tuesday, the 7th of October, we have our flu and COVID shot clinic. That is from 9 to 12. If you are interested in receiving those vaccines, stop at the desk. There is a form that you have to fill out and bring with you that day. So no appointments, just come in between the hours of 9 to 12. That is sponsored through Hannaford's Pharmacy, again this year. You can get one or both shots, that's up to you, but they're doing the flu and the COVID. Next week, Thursday, October 9th, is the big bingo game at 1:30. If you're interested in signing up for that, please see Cecile at the desk. And today is Lunch and Learn. Thank you, Chief, again for another month of Lunch and Learn. He'll be introducing our speakers shortly. But I do want to acknowledge that our chief was awarded the Massachusetts Community Policing Award. So congratulations. Yes, we're very proud of that. So congratulations. And the OLV students are here today. Thank you guys for helping. We do appreciate you. All right. Sally, do you have anything?
Hi.
Hello.
Smile day, guys. This day you do a smile test. You look at somebody, if they smile, you smile back at them right away. Just get them with a smile. I do it every day, but today's like for everyone else. All right. Love you guys. Have a great weekend.
We all love you guys too.
Yeah.
Do you have
nothing.
You have nothing.
Jim saw the picture of Tom Brady.
Yes, that's the best part. All right, let's do a moment of silence before lunch. Thank you. Enjoy your lunch.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Lunch and Learn. My name is Mark Momedy. I'm the Chief of Police here. Thank you all for being here. And a couple of updates. As you know, before we meet again, Halloween is coming up. The police department has its lobby decorated. We are in competition with the senior center to see who can decorate the best. Yeah. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't tell them there was a competition. That way we win.
Well, I tell you what, we know now.
Yeah. In addition to that, the big news is that on November 1st, we are doing a trunk or treat for the kids at Taft School. So we'll be down there giving the kids candy and all kinds of stuff. We'll have some people in costume. I'm here today with Claudine. Claudine, my assistant, is here. Can everybody say hello, Claudine? And then the really, really big news is that Big Y opened up for a soft opening on the 2nd. So on the 2nd, they opened up with a soft opening. That means that they're technically open, but they're asking you to allow them, their staff, to get used to their jobs and things like that. And then there's going to be a grand opening next week.
16th.
The 16th is the grand opening. So there'll be a ribbon cutting, and there'll be all kinds of discounts and all kinds of things. So I'll tell you though, you don't get the discounts if you don't have a Big Y card. So you either need the app or the card, and then you'll be eligible for all the discounts. Now, Claudine has already told me that she plans to be the first person in the door. Yeah. It's on video now, so everybody knows. And today we have guest speakers to talk to you here. I wrote down all their information. We have Sue Salisbury, who is the Communication Services at Tri-Valley. And we also have Joe Vaudrey. Did I say that right? Vaudrey. He is the program manager for the Older Adult Home Modification Program, also known as OAHMP.
That's not a mouthful.
Yeah, so there's going to be a test at the end, so make sure everybody memorizes this. So I'm going to turn it over to them so they can tell you a little bit more about this very important program.
Thank you for having us here today. I know many of you are familiar with Tri-Valley and the various programs that we have. I'm just going to quickly go over a couple of things before Joe jumps in with our newest program, which hopefully may be a help to many of you or friends that you may have that will be in need, that you can pass the information along. So Tri-Valley, we are located in Dudley, but we cover Uxbridge. That's right in the middle almost of our territory. We go out to Franklin and out to Warren. So we have our in-home services for homemaking, understay home care, personal care, bathing assistance. We have our Meals on Wheels program. But we also have Veterans Outreach. So if you are a veteran, if you have served any time in any military branch, including the Guard and the Reserves, or if you are a dependent, so a spouse, a widow, or a child 18 and under, we may be able to help support you with whatever your needs might be. We help to connect you to other veteran services too. We also have behavioral health. If you're going through a loss, if you're having challenges and you need somebody to talk to help you maneuver the behavioral health, mental health system, we have that too. And we also have crisis intervention. We have Anchor. We have many different programs at Tri-Valley that may be able to assist you or somebody you know. We have our information referral department, and pretty much all the referrals go through that department. As well as if you're calling, you need a phone number for elder law attorney. You need to know a podiatrist that does home visits, anything like that. Our information and referral department can help you with that. If they don't know the information, they will research it and get back to you. So Tri-Valley helps seniors, older adults I should say, helps people with disabilities, caregivers, veterans. So we're trying to be there to support in any way possible in conjunction with the local senior centers, which we really work closely with because it's a great opportunity. As you see, you're all here out enjoying socialization and a delicious meal. And happy Smile Day. I'll pass this on to Joe.
Thank you so much, Sue, and I want to say thank also Gail and Lisa for having us today. Today we're here to talk about the Older Adult Home Modification Program, otherwise known as OMAP. It is funded through the Department of Housing and Urban Development, otherwise known as HUD. So on the exam at the end, knowing the acronym is going to be important for bonus points. It is being coordinated by Tri-Valley, so we are the ASAP, Aging Service Access Point in your area. That is going to be coordinating this effort. Identifying our partners who are all licensed contractors, licensed occupational therapists who are helping to do the assessments and perform the work. I am the project manager for this, or the program manager for this program, and Sue is acting as a program director for this program as well. And the main goal for the Older Adult Home Modification Program is to increase health, safety, and your ability to stay in your home through no-cost home modifications and improvements. All right, so Sue, do you want to take this slide or about Tri-Valley?
A little more about Tri-Valley. So we are very excited. We're starting, you'll see signs around, information out. We're going into our 50th year. We're celebrating 50 years of being an ASAP. So we're very excited about that. We do offer over 36 program, which I told you a little bit about, but we also have the PCA program, the AFC program, option counseling. So pretty much trying to reach Tri-Valley, just call in and ask, and our information referral department can really direct you to what program would be best suited for you. Or if it's not something under Tri-Valley's roof, we will get you to the right resource for your needs. So thank you so much.
Great, thank you. So, as I mentioned, the main point of the OMAP program is enhancing safety and independence, and that is the purpose of this HUD grant today. So it really aims to help older adults with, live safely and independently in their homes by providing low-cost but high-impact modifications and improvements. And just again to mention that everything that we're doing is under the guidance of HUD and in partnership with licensed contractors and licensed occupational therapists. So there are some criteria to be part of this program. You need to be first age 62 or older. Secondly, you need to reside in the home or apartment that you're applying to be modified, right? So we can't modify someone's home that you don't live in. So you as the applicant need to reside in that home. Typically, these types of programs have been reserved for people who own their own home. This new program is opening up this to renters as well. So if you rent your home, you are now able to also apply and be eligible for these services. There is just an additional step of getting some permission from your landlord, which we have a form for. But that is something that is new to a lot of these types of home modification programs, is opening it up to the renting population as well. There are income guidelines, and they are determined by household, not individual. So that is something to be mindful of, and we do need proof of income. They have set the bar pretty high as far as the threshold. So they really want to make it so a lot of people can qualify. It is 80% of the median home income, which depends on your area. So that's why when you call into Tri-Valley to do the screener, we'll help you figure out what that magic number is for you. But it is not based off of the federal poverty rate, it is based off of the area income, and 80% of that, which is pretty high. You also must live in Tri-Valley's service area, which includes 25 towns, and they are outlined here on the image below. We go all the way from West Brookfield all the way down to Franklin. And also proof of residency is required, which includes, for instance, a signed copy of your lease, your deed, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So before we go forward though, it is great to take a moment to set expectations for what this program can and can't do. Home modification under HUD's guidance is different than renovation. And we need to be aware of that because there are certain guidelines that we have to follow when working with this program. So some things that we can do, for instance, are replacing stair treads, right? The part you step on. But we cannot, for instance, replace stairs entirely, right? Like give you a whole new staircase, whole new riser. We can not do mold mediation where we're opening up your walls and taking out all the mold and things like that, but we can, for instance, remove surface mold. We can't install permanent ramps that are having concrete footings or any type of thing that's bolted into concrete, but we can put up modular ground graded supported ramps, which have come a long way. And we cannot, fill in or repair holes in your ceiling or holes in your floor, but we can help with bumps of floor transitions, right? If you are having trouble moving around your home because there are those, half-inch to 1-inch sections between your kitchen and your living room, for instance, that's carpeted, those are things that we can help with. Some other things we can do are things like carbon and smoke detectors, carbon monoxide rather, improved lighting through fixtures. Again, we can't do any electrical work, but plug-in fixtures, stick-on motion sensor fixtures down to like the basement stairs, for instance. Automatic stove shutoffs. Replacing address numbers, and some people say, how is that helpful for safety? Well, it's so people like the police or the fire department can more quickly identify your home by having clear numbers that they can see. Grab bars and railings and handrails, so that's throughout the home, common in bathrooms, common near staircases, things like that, but could also be along walls. We mentioned ramps, raised toilet seats, floor transitions, accessible door handles or faucets, so switching to a lever style door handle or using lever style faucets instead of the round ones you have to grip and twist. handheld showers, so you can more easily shower, and especially if you also use a shower bench, which is also covered in this program, and we can pair those two together to quite positive effects. Super poles with pivot arms, which are devices that fit between the floor and the ceiling without any type of bolting in or anything like that, and use a spring tension to stay there and can help you move around different areas, in and out of the tub, things like that. And we can also do tub cuts with this program. Can we give you a walk-in shower? No, we cannot give you a walk-in shower. We cannot replace your bathtub, but we can do things like tub cuts that really make it accessible for you to use what's already in your home. So here's some more examples of modifications, right? We have, repairing cracks in your stairs, your concrete stairs and pathways. We have putting out solar lights along your pathways so you can see them more clearly at night. Also, along with the lever handles, we also have D-shaped handles on cabinetry, right? So instead of the little nubs, something that is easier to grab onto. Same with drawer pulls, replacing those. Hand railings, interior, exterior, super poles, tub cuts. So there's all those things that we are most likely, going to see a lot of are all covered here. Okay, so there is some required documentation to apply for this program. So along with the eligibility criteria, we also have just 3 pieces of information that we really need. We need proof of age, which is going to be through a government photo ID. We need proof of income, and again, this is for your household. These can take many forms, right? There's many forms of way income comes in. So this could be a Social Security award letter, this could be a pay stub, this could be a tax return, this could be a month of bank statements that show all your activity for a month, and therefore shows how much income you're taking into that account for a month. All those types of things are acceptable. And then proof of residency, which again is just going to be your deed or your signed lease. And if you need help, for instance, finding your deed, we do have a link to the MA Registry of Deeds, which is a great resource to quickly look it up, quickly find it, and get it over to us. All right, so I want to go over a little bit of the process, and it is 6 steps. The first step is a screener and intake, and this really helps determine eligibility. So the last slide will have a phone number for you to call Tri-Valley's INR department in order to start the screener. Once you complete the screener, if you are eligible, you'll move over to completing the documentation, or completing the application rather, and submitting the documentation. That will also include signing some forms. These forms include you attesting that everything you've told us about your situation is true and therefore you're eligible. These include release of information so we can share information about what you've given us with HUD so we can get approval to do the modification in your home. Also sharing this information with the contractor, with the OT, so they can go in and do that assessment, things like that. You'll then have a licensed OT come to your home and complete a home assessment, and they're going to talk with you. They're not just going to come in and say, here's what you need to do. They're going to say, tell me about your priorities. Tell me about where you are finding the most difficulty getting along in your home. Let's look at that first. But they're also going to want to do the whole home. They're going to want to ask you and see all the rooms in your house. So even if it's not a priority, even if it's not something that's covered in this grant, you have that information as you move on. And that's something that's really important to HUD. They want to make sure that this isn't just something that impacts you right now, but you get information from this process that can help you in the future. We're then going to develop a work plan. So with your input, you'll review what the OT's suggestions are, and then the OT will bring those back to myself and the contractor. We will work together to develop a work plan, and I will contact you to kind of go over that. Once we are done with that step, we're going to start to execute the work plan. So that licensed contractor will reach out to you directly to schedule a time that is good for you to come and take those modifications, make them happen. Typical, what I'm seeing right now is modifications are taking mostly are taking 1 day. Contractors will come in, do everything we talked about in 1 day. The maximum I've seen so far is 3 days, and that's because of materials, right? So materials can sometimes have a delay coming in. And then we'll have a follow-up assessment. So that OT is going to come back out, the same one you had before. They're going to come back out, and they're going to make sure they're going to verify the work was done as was anticipated. They're going to provide you any type of education you need on how to use anything that they've installed or anything like that. And then they're also going to be able to answer any of your questions. So we want to make sure that when this program is completed, you're feeling very comfortable with what the changes have been and how to best utilize them to, again, increase safety functionality of your day-to-day life in your home. So, with current events, I wanted to add a slide here today, because I know it's like will come up, that the current government shutdown will not be impacting this program. Payout for this program through HUD is considered an essential service and is not going to be impacted by the government shutdown, no matter how long or how short that shutdown is. All right, wrapping up, for further assistance and information, I do very much encourage you to reach out to us. If you have questions, you can reach out directly to me. My contact information is here. If you are interested in filling out a screener and applying to the program, I would definitely recommend you call the number that's bigger on the screen there for information and referral. They can walk you through the screening process, get you set up, and then we'll send that screener either off to me if you are not already receiving services from Tri-Valley, and if you are already receiving services from Tri-Valley and you have a case manager who you're used to communicating with, that person will be the point person for your application. So it's not a new person you have to start communicating with. You'll just communicate with the person you're used to communicating with. And with that, we are, yes, of course.
Sorry. I just wanted to repeat a couple things Joe said that I think are important. This grant covers not only the materials to do the project, it is the labor too, because I know there are some other programs out there where the participant has to pay for the supplies and the labor is free. In this grant, both pieces are covered. So it takes that financial burden off of why you may not have done some of these things to make it a little safer on your own. So that's really the good piece of this grant, the important piece. We were so excited to get this because I really think it's going to go a long way. We have this grant for about 3 years as long as the funds last. But as Joe mentioned, all of the different examples, I just wanted to bring it up because I know you may have one railing outside and two may be better because you're going down and maybe your right side is the stronger side from your left and right and you're going down the stairs and you're holding that but then getting back up. You may not feel as comfortable using your left side to hold on to get up. So having the two railings may be an addition that you hadn't really thought about because you have one. But in this case, if it might help you feel a little more comfortable, as well as Joe mentioned the ramps. They're temporary ramps, but the exciting piece we were talking about this morning, we can rent them. So if you have gone in for rehab, you're not quite up to par to getting up your 3 or 4 steps up front, but you want to come home. And you're trying to figure out, how do I do that? Ramps are expensive. We can do that rental, and as Joe said, he can have them put railings on too. So, and they take it back free of charge. So, it's another great opportunity, something you might not even think about or trying to figure out, how do I get this done? How do I get my loved one home? I can't afford this, I can't figure it out, who can I trust? This might be a program for that with planning ahead, because as Joe said, there is a process to it, but it does happen pretty quickly as long as the documentation comes in. Lisa?
Couple of questions. Do you find the contractor for them?
Yes.
And then secondly, what about stair lifts?
So we can anyone hear me okay?
With the microphone.
Microphone's better? Great, so those are great questions. Yes, we have identified our partners, and we're going to be working with them over the duration of the 3 years. So we have 2 contractors and 3 OTs that we work with. So we will, those are on our end to secure. We vet and do all of that on our end. We cannot do stair lifts. Stair lifts are considered renovation by HUD. But we can, if you have existing stair lifts and something is in need of potentially repair, we can look at that and see if that repair is within our scope. Yeah, in that case, it becomes very, very case by case about what exactly that repair entails.
Would you like some?
So with that, it's absolutely a flexible program, and that's how it's designed to be. So I know it's probably going to be a lot of questions that come in as you look at what you have and what you might see in your home as a priority. But this is also an opportunity to maybe take advantage of some of the things that are within our scope of work that then allow you to have some resources, financial resources to do something that you want to do but can't afford all the way, right? So maybe we are able to remove an old carpet that is causing you to trip over it, but even though we can't install new floors, but the cost that we're able to save you of replacing the taking out the carpet, for instance, you can then have enough money to install the flooring. So it's those types of factors as well. So if you have questions about those things, I really do encourage you to call and call Anna or call me directly with those types of questions. Yeah, Lisa?
Would you help them fill out the application if they can't?
Yeah, so we actually fill out most of the application for you. When you call to complete the screener, all the information that INR is collecting at the point of completing the screener, which is about 6 questions, it will only take you about 5 minutes. But all the information automatically gets sent over to the application as well. And then when the person reaches out to you, if you are eligible, they're going to complete that application over the phone with you. So really, by the time that you are getting your verification documents together, the only thing that's missing from these forms is your signature, which we have different ways of collecting. We can have if you're open, your case manager already has a visit scheduled with you, they might just bring that form out and you can sign it digitally on their computer. We can mail it to you, although that is a slower process, right, because it involves all the mailing and turnaround. And we can also use online signing services, such as DocuSign. Ours is Adobe Sign, that's what we use, which is from the company Adobe. So, which are all encrypted and secured way of signing forms through your computer, which if you're not comfortable with, someone else who in your life might be able to help you with that as well.
Do you have a brochure?
Yes, we have some flyers that we can put out as we wrap up today, and you can feel free to come up and grab. Yep, absolutely.
Thank you very much. A little round of applause for Joe and Susan. Thank you so much. And I'll just ask that you stick around for a couple minutes in case somebody has a question they want to come up and ask. And also, thank you very much for our kids from OLV for helping out.
They're in the kitchen.
Oh, they were in the kitchen. I'm sorry. Well, thank them anyway.